Some of you have sympathy for somebody you don't know. I'll say it. And that's where he nearly made us to make a mistake. He said P2B will be president. President where? Some of you don't know somebody just out of emotion. For 8 years, he was governor. He never conducted local government election. Never. That time Nigerians were not angry. Nigerians were happy.
Crowd. All right, everyone. The crowd applauded Minister Wike when he said that he won't win the presidential election, that nobody needs to support the person they don't know. I want you to watch this video, then I will come up with my own submission in relation to Mr. Paul Uwadima's submission.
That was the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, years a weekend, turning a church service to a podium for political rascality, if you like, because the church ordinarily is not supposed to be a place where you go and be campaigning at all, and more especially to campaign against somebody that is far better than you, and the people knows it. And you can see the humiliation he suffered in that church. It was like talking to the deaf. Nobody was paying attention to him. Nobody clapped for him. No reasonable person in that congregation clapped for him as he was talking all kinds of things about P2B. He said that he thought he knows P2B better than the people in the congregation. He said they don't know who they are supporting. But the silence in that church as he was speaking, and as he finished and totally embarrassed himself, is a lesson for other politicians that like to turn the pulpit to a place for political rascality, for a place to turn religion to politics. That was, he got a dose of what it means to talk about against P2B in a crowd where they know better, where they know P2B better than Wike. Wike claims he knows P2B, they don't know who they are supporting. That's what he claimed, that's what he was telling them. So, because according to him, let us assume without considering that P2B didn't conduct the local government election, which I will explain why he didn't conduct local government election. But let us assume without considering that P2B deliberately did not conduct local government election. How is Tinubu that Wike is supporting a better person than P2B? Tinubu, who in 1999 said he attended primary secondary school and listed the schools he attended. But in 2023, ahead of 2023 elections, he said he didn't attend primary and secondary school. He only attended the university. And Wike supports such a person. Somebody who forfeited $460,000 purses of narcotic to the United States government. That's a better person than P2B.
Alright, watching the submission of Mr. Uwadima, I beg to oppose some of his submission. While it's no doubt that Mr. Uwadima is unapologetic and obese supporter, but of course, we need to tell ourselves the truth. Now, he did a video where he said that Wike was embarrassed when he said Obi will not become president, and looking at that video, he later on gave details on who and who is a corrupt politician, and of course he never made mention of Peter Obi. Now, if you are a follower of Reno Omokri, which I know Mr. Uwadima is a staunch follower of Mr. Reno, you see a lot of corruption that is levied against Mr. Peter Obi. Of course, this same Peter Obi is somebody we know that he deposited, according to allegation made by Reno Omokri, which I believe that allegation is not baseless. That allegation holds water. He said he deposited Anambra's allocation in Fidelity Bank, which is a bank he has interest in. I think he's one of the directors, maybe in the capacity of executive or non-executive director, but definitely is a director in that bank and a shareholder rather in that bank. So he deposited the fund of Anambra State allocation. He deposited Anambra State allocation in that bank to yield interest for him. Is that not corruption? Now, a lot of allegations have been flying the air that look, that Hero Beer factory, he owns that Hero Beer factory, that Hero Beer factory is was built by him using Anambra State fund, and that the purpose of that Hero Beer factory is for him to be making money after he left office. But of course, nobody is talking much about that. The only thing Anobi can raise his finger up and say that he did as a governor is that Hero Beer factory, which we believe is making money for him. Mr. Uwadima is not talking about that. So the other corruption allegation levied against Mr. Obi, and then aside that, he was noted for having miracle centers in all over Anambra, and I think the succeeding governor, Willie Obiano, had to shut those centers because those centers were used by students to commit exam malpractices. So you cannot come in and begin to say Obi is a saint. Why we are not saying that Tinubu is a saint either, but of course Uwadima needs to balance his argument. We all know he's an Obi supporter, but there's a limit to which you should raise eyebrow each time anybody talks against Obi. Now, he was talking about Wike coming to the podium, church podium, to talk about Obi, and then is Wike not entitled to talk about Obi in whichever way or whichever form he wishes to? Of course, we all know that the church is a gathering and a center where people not only discuss the word of God, they also talk about politics. You see men of God deviating from the word of God and also talking about politics. There's an interconnection between religion and politics. So Mr. Uwadima coming up to say that Wike is using the podium, the church podium, for political rascality, to me doesn't make sense, because the church is a substructure of the entire society. If whatever policies of government that is being made, it affects the church. So there is nothing wrong if somebody brings political matter to the church, because the church is part of the society. So Mr. Uwadima needs to calm down. While we know he's a staunch supporter of Obi, but he needs to be reasonable. He needs support. My name is Nare. This is Trending Nigeria. I will see you in the next video. Please drop your comment. Let me know what you feel.